Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have another pen for review, and this is a pen made by a German company called Hahnemuhle, and it's made in Germany. So this pen has been provided to me for review both by Hahnemuhle and also Colt Pen in the UK. So if you don't know, Hahnemuhle were founded back in 1584. Yeah, 1584. This is a company steeped in history. Originally as a paper mill in South Lower Saxony's Solling uplands, Hahnemuhle, typically a paper manufacturing company with high quality pulp, but have recently introduced a line of writing instruments, and this is what I have here today. So the name of the pen serves as a reminder of the founder papermaker Myrte Spiel. This is the bold edition from stainless steel, and I think let's take a look at this pen in a little bit more detail. So it comes in this lovely textured, almost like faux leather type outer box here. So if I remove this cover here, it has this lovely texture to it, but then you'll see the inner box here, which says Hahnemuhle, made in Germany. If I lift the lid of this, you will see another box, but this is a lovely lacquered box here that you will see. So if I remove that box, and we'll take a look at this box in a little bit more detail there. So it's a very high gloss box, and when I open it, you will see both the Hahnemuhle logo there, made in Germany, and also the pen. So I think let's take a look at this pen. I'll remove this box out of the way just so it's easier, so that we don't get any reflections from that box. A very nice box though that the pen comes in. So this is essentially the bold edition pen, which is made from stainless steel. It's a brushed stainless steel effect. It's matte, clean cut, and well refined. It does feel quite robust and sturdy, very well built. You can see here it has the name Hahnemuhle on there. You have a clip which is quite springy as well. The clip comes down from the cap finial here, where you have the rooster logo there, which is an interesting touch. It is a cylindrical pen, so the pen tapers down slightly to what would be the end cap there, but it is a flat top pen. So it tapers in, it then tapers out to effectively what normally would be considered as a cap band. There's no band on this cap. There is a slight step down, and then it tapers down to the end finial here, which is just a flat top there. Now, if I unscrew the cap here, you will see a number 5 size 18 karat gold rhodium plated nib, and again you have that cockerel as well, which is the logo of Hahnemuhle. And as I said, this is a rhodium plated 18 karat gold nib. It comes in a fine, medium, and broad. The nib is carefully run in, they say, by hand, so it is written with, and you can see the ABS plastic feed there. So this is the smaller nib that you would see. It is a cartridge converter pen, and I will show you here that are a lot of threads, but you will see also a converter there that is also branded Hahnemuhle, which is always good to see. And you can remove that converter. I believe it is possibly an international standard. There is a little bit more of a width in here, so the converter does sort of move around a little bit. which I have not seen in a pen before. I think because you push it on there, it's going to be very tight anyway. But there is a slight gap around the edges of that converter, which is a little strange, I have to say. But I don't think that is going to cause a problem, because it is actually pretty well suctioned into that section there. So it is quite tight once it's pushed in. Now, can I post the cap? I can do so, and it is actually quite comfortable. I would say, though, it does post very deeply. If you see here, it posts down to here, which is quite deep. However, the cap is still quite weighty. So if you are a cap poster, you may find it feels a little bit back weighted. But there is a lot of steel here on this pen, which will actually give it weight. Personally, I'm not a cap poster. I know some people are, but I find actually this pen is a decent weight in my hand. It's also a fairly decent length, but if you do want to post that cap, you can do so, and it will post fairly deeply and securely there. I have to say, I do like the finish on this pen. If I show it here in a little bit more of a close-up, you can see the clip there and the gap between the clip and the body. But you can see the workmanship that's actually gone into this pen. It is almost a brushed stainless steel effect going on there. Actually reminds me of almost a brushed stainless steel titanium finish. But it is stainless steel, not titanium. But it really feels that it's got some heft to the pen, that it's got some weight to it. Now, the pen itself is a little bit shorter than a lot of pens that I have in my collection, but it still feels quite nice in the size of my hand. So I think what we'll do a size check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and then we'll do a writing sample. So the full length of the pen, we are looking at about 135 millimeters in length. The length of the cap is about 60 millimeters in length. So the cap is normally around about 60, 65 on a lot of pens. And then the length of the body to the tip of the nib or tip of the tines, we're looking about 122 millimeters in length. So normally when we get around about 122 millimeters in length, or 120, that's normally a pen that I would feel that I might want to post the cap a little bit more on. But you can see in the size of my hand there that there is still room. It's not in the crook of my hand. It has a very long section here as well, which is quite comfortable. The section does have a slight concaveness and then convexness here down towards the nib. So it's a comfortable pen to hold. And I think that concaveness there, let me see if I can bring this up close. You can see there that there's a slight concave and then convex, and the convex there is just to try and stop the pen or your fingers slipping down onto the nib and the feed of the pen there. So I think with that, let's do a weight check as well, and we can see how heavy that this pen will be. So this is uninked at the moment. So the pen itself is just under 55 grams in weight. So it is a stainless steel pen, so it is going to be quite weighty, and I personally do like weighty pens. The weight of the cap is just over 22.5 grams in weight, and then the weight of the body, we're looking at just over 32 grams in weight. So that is quite a weighty pen, but it feels nice in the hand. And I have to say that I do like the finish on this pen. I do like the logo there, that it feels as though it's laser etched into the pen there that you can see. There you go. But it is an interesting pen for sure. Very much reminds me of Parker in years gone past. Their stainless steel pens. So this isn't a silver pen. It is stainless steel. The price of this pen comes in around about retail, around about 420 UK pound. So it does come with an 18 karat gold nib. It is a smaller nib though, but 420 pound is maybe for some a little too much in terms of price. I think though, in terms of the workmanship of the pen, I think that price actually works out quite well, especially with an 18 karat gold nib on there. You have the choice of fine, medium, broad. There isn't any extra fine nibs or stub nibs though, or double broad, at least not at this moment in time. But I definitely feel that the workmanship on this pen is pretty good. And I do like the pen itself. It's definitely, I think, worth that retail price. And obviously, in various sales, you might be able to pick it up for slightly cheaper as well, if you can pick up the pen in a sale. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have a Cross Peerless 125 in the platinum. We have an Anoto, and this is the Magna Classic in the chased green. An Anoto Coronation pen, an Esterbrook SD Oversize, and this is in the Gold Rush Prospector. We have a Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero Grande in the stand. We have the Hahnemuhle, and this is the Bold Edition fountain pen. And then we have some larger silver pens, and these are the Anoto Magna Carta, Anoto Rosetta Stone, Anoto British Museum Great Court, and the Anoto Longitude, which is a resin pen. So I think let's now go and do a writing sample. So this is the Hahnemuhle, and it is the Bold Edition. And this nib on this pen is a medium nib, and it is an 18 karat gold nib, and it is a number 5 size nib. Now the ink in here today I've inked up with is Diamine, and it's a majestic purple. And then I think in terms of line variation, we can see that this is definitely more of a medium width of line in terms of a Western medium. Can we push this nib a little bit more? Yes, we can probably get it to go to a broad. I'm not going to push that much more because I'm not. I've never used a Hahnemuhle pen or nib before, so I do find though that this is quite a nice nib to write with. Typically I normally go with number 6 size nibs or number 8 size nibs. You can see there's no hard starts or skips, so this nib is very well tuned, and I would have to say that this is actually a very smooth nib. It's actually quite a pleasure to write with. Now let's do an ink wetness test. We can also see that this is quite a wet nib. So this for me is actually a really nice writer. It does feel as though it is very, very smooth, but not too smooth to actually be a little bit more of a hard start or skip, which you can find from some pens and some nibs if they are over polished. I think this nib has been tuned extremely well. It is pretty wet, almost going on what I would class as a fire hose nib. Very, very wet. and you can see this here as well from the vertical lines, they are still wet there. So this is a wet nib. If you like a smooth writing nib, and I know a lot of people do, then certainly that will be a pen that you will probably like more so. There's really not a lot of feedback to the nib in terms of pencil-like feedback, and I know a lot more people typically do prefer a smoother nib over a pencil-like feedback nib. So I really do like this pen. It is a nice pen. I think it's quite a classic design. I do like the flat top on either end or each end, and likewise the way the clip and the almost the sort of sandblasted effect of that stainless steel. It just makes it look to be a nice pen. What do I like? What do I not like about it? I like that it's a cartridge converter pen. I like that it's got weight. I like that it's got a classic style there. And I do like that it comes with an 18 karat gold nib. Although you are going to be paying at retail about £420 for that experience. And some may say that's too much. Some may say that it's perfectly fine. I do think it's perfectly fine for this pen. I certainly would buy this pen if I got to try and write with this pen, because it is a very, very smooth nib. Definitely a Western medium. It will be interesting to see if the fines and the broad nibs write the same. I'm pretty sure they will be. Obviously slightly finer and slightly broader than this medium nib. But for me, this is actually quite an interesting pen. I had never really heard of Hahnemuhle before, because in terms of pens, because this is really their first entry into pen making. But I think I would certainly like to see more in the future, whether or not it's another sort of stainless steel style pen, but maybe gold plated, or some other style of pens. Some people like flat top pens, some people like cigar-like shaped pens. So it will be interesting to see what Hahnemuhle come up with in the future, but I do think this is a very, very good first try, and I really do like that it has an 18 karat gold rhodium plated nib there. So that's my review of the Hahnemuhle Bold Edition fountain pen in a medium 18 karat gold nib. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.